Hey guys, today I'm going to be reviewing this Leatherman killer in here. Stay tuned. It's a bit of clickbait, but actually it's more about awareness. I want to create awareness for Leatherman. Hopefully they can make their own design similar to this. We'll see. So let's start out with some other stuff I have. Then I can go into this thing, and it's essentially this. First of all, I think multi-tools are not that great. They're good for like emergency use. I'm in the belief that a real tool is the best tool. It just makes the life easier. So if you're like working on your bike, you're working on your car, you're doing home renovation, just buy the real tools as opposed to using multi-tool. But multi-tools have a purpose, right? In emergency, sometimes you're going outdoors, you might need it, or it's like you might just put this in your car or in your office desk. So there could be some other, good reasons to have one. But anyway, let's get to it. Start off with this. This is not a Leatherman Raptor. This is a Leatherman Raptor, obviously a clone of sorts. I think it's fairly accurate to the real thing, according to my friend. This is my second one because my first one I gave to my friend because he liked it so much, and this thing works well. We definitely want something kind of a bit crazy. Purple with glow in the dark. Does this show off? Let's see. Can you see that's glow in the dark? Sweet. Anyway, so glow in the dark, you have a trauma shears, EMT shears, tactical shears, whatever you want to call it. You have a seatbelt cutter here, plus a O2 tank wrench and a clip. That's pretty much it. But this has been a really great tool. Oh wait, there's a glass puncher there. So this has been a really great tool to have in a house as for family members, because it's a very robust scissor and it pretty much can cut through a lot of things, which negate the need to use a knife. Sometimes if you use a utility knife, then you might go into packaging and there might be some resistance and then boom, it breaks free. So there's a bit of more danger as opposed to just cutting through something, right? Or sometimes this can actually cut through a very harsh material, much better than a knife can, because you have this leverage effect of here. Plus you have the little grooves. Is that gonna show up? These little grooves, so when you cut something, will actually cut and hold it there as opposed to sliding over, right? Okay, so it's great. So I love this thing, but the problem with this thing is that it's so singular in its use. It's more of just a super duper scissors. And I would always would love to have a wrench or a multi-tool that had a robust scissor. Enter, and this is the Nextool Flagship Pro, or you know what? I think there's some kind of relation to this Nextorch, which I'm going to review, because I see a Nextorch NT10 and it looks like exactly the same thing. So I figured that this might be the same exact company. I'm just going to say I'm pretty sure it's coming from the same factory. I don't know, maybe they just have different names. It looks like it has some cues from a Leatherman, but got the pliers, you got the knives, saw, the other tools here, Phillips flathead can opener, bottle opener. Does this have? Yes, it has one. Window puncher right there, and the coup de grace, the scissors. Now look at this, it has ED. This thing doesn't work. I can do it like this way, but okay, so you see what the problem is? It's missing a part right here. So actually this is a bad design, and yeah, it's a piece of shit, to be honest. I think I paid 25 US for this, and 25 US, I think it ranged from 25 to 40 US, and I think the Nextorch MT10 was on the website was like 60. I was like, no way, this is worth 60. So the problem with this is that it's actually more closer to a regular scissors as opposed to this heavy duty like trauma shears. So you don't have any of the ridged edge to grip the item, and obviously the quality is not great. So there's a lot of cues in this that showed that the quality is not great. I had to fix the knife. I remember when I had it, the knife had a bit of a wiggle, so I had to adjust the arm so it wouldn't wiggle. I think you could see a bit of a wiggle in the saw. Absolute looks like crap. I mean, all the parts looked like that was punched out of a sheet of metal and like hastily finished. This is like rounded over here, so just not a great tool. I mean, it's basically Chinese can build quality and not quality, and this was built to price. So I wouldn't recommend this at all. So I'm pretty sure NextArch is never gonna send me some free stuff like other channels, but you're here for the non-chill review, right? So yeah, it's like people will get their free stuff and they're scared to comment. I'll just tell you a little side story. And that I used to follow a guy and he followed me and he actually posted this multi-tool, and then I made a comment about be careful with the scissor thing, and I saw another post. It looked exactly the same. I was like, wait, what happened? This looks exactly the same post, but then my comment was gone. I realized the guy actually deleted his post and reposted the same post to remove my comment because it's critical of the design problem of this. And so because he got it for free, he's just looking to promote it essentially. So you have this kind of state of the community in which people are, you know, shilling stuff. But so the problem with this is that it's a piece of metal that goes across and then it wedges here. So every time you pull it down like that, it will close. But it's actually just a straight piece of metal. So it actually had fatigue and I guess it just popped off one day. They could put a kind of crossbar on that metal to reinforce it, kind of like an I-beam, or they could roll the edges on the side like that, and then that can also reinforce it. But I think it just made, you know, to be a budget multi-tool, and there's not much thought and longevity on this. Does it have a function? Yeah, I mean, you can just, this is the multi-tool that you buy for your enemy or people who you know that are not going to use their multi-tool. Maybe you buy for your mom and you just like, they put it in a drawer and they'll never use it. So I think that's where it's made for that. It's like just price point. But okay, enough with that. I just wanted to say, like, I want this scissor and I want it with a multi-tool, okay? And I wish a Leatherman made something like that. I prefer to buy a Leatherman, but yeah, they don't have anything like that. Usually they have, you know, like very weak scissors like you would find. Do I have my Leatherman small multi-tool? It's not here. Okay, forget it. And then yeah, it just has like Victorinox, all these other brands, Victorinox, Leatherman, they just have really weak scissors made for paper, you know, like stuff for this. But it's so useful to have a strong scissor. So enter in this NextTorch MT20, not the MT10, which is a piece of junk. Nice case. We can just comment about the case first. Nice hard shell. So this can be slide under here if you want to use a MOLLE system to make it shorter. And so nice quality pop, water drainage, very nice. What did I pay for this? These run about 100 USD. I think I paid a little bit less. I think I paid a little bit less because I got it on Taobao, which is slightly cheaper than AliExpress, but AliExpress has it for around 100 USD. Do you think it's worth it? You have to see. I guess you'll look at this video and you'll determine if you think it's worth 100 USD. It's getting up there, right? It's getting closer to like foreign brands. So you're thinking, do I want to spend that much for a Chinese product? But that is what I said before. You know, if you want quality Chinese and Chinese make your iPhones, it's just you have to pay for it, and then what you get is quality. Okay, so they actually market it correctly. They don't market this as a kind of multi-tool for like craftsmen. It says EMT, firefighters, you know, first responders, these style of people. Okay, so let's open it up and see what we can find. Beautiful. So now we have a shears. It's actually not as long, so there is a bit of a compromise. It's not as long, slightly shorter, right? But you have the same, at least like with this, not spring-loaded. Spring-loaded, so you can just quickly had to cut through clothes. How's that sound? How's that quality sound to you? So also with the ridge, ribbed for your pleasure, very durable. And then obviously with this kind of design, there's no flimsy breaking point like this. If you're opening it up, first priority is a scissor. What else do we get on it that can help with emergencies? We have this is made to cut cable ties. Pops out and there's a sharp edge here. Supposedly this is the bottle opener as well. Didn't try it yet. Then we have here a nice flathead, small one, so not that useful. So this is not for that craftsman or contractor, I think. Then we have a seatbelt cutter. So you have, from the outside, you have access to a seatbelt cutter if you need to cut. So there's actually a future design on this. If you put this 90 degrees, you can rotate this part this bit fully over to here, now you can actually pull and remove it. Now, I saw another review where they were talking about this and they said this is meant to hold a handcuff key. We have to see what NextSource does with this. As of now, I don't see them selling any kind of bits for this to replace. So no Phillips, right? You just have a small flathead. It gets better than nothing, still better than this, right? Because you get more stuff, but yeah, not fully a multi-tool. One hand for we have the knife, not that long, right? But that's more to do with the limitation, I guess, with the size, if you can see what fits inside of here. Okay, then we have the other side is the saw. Everything locks in solid, so the quality is right there. Liner lock, obviously all these styles of multi-tools are liner lock. Okay, so actually one thing it's missing that I'm surprised, it doesn't even have a window punch. Why does this have one? Where is it? Over here. They didn't think to put a window punch? Does anyone know how to break a window without one of these window punch? This one looks like the best. I know that you're supposed to put it at the corner of the window and press into it and it will pop the window, but can you use other tools? Would it pop? But yeah, that's something I'm surprised that this thing is missing. We have a ruler, it has a clip. I mean, you can run it without the holster, but probably holster is better. Where is the pliers that I'm wishing for, you know, to marriage a heavy duty shears with the pliers? It is back under here. So yikes, right? This is kind of a yikes. If your pliers is your priority, this is definitely not the multi-tool for you. As you can see, it's spring loaded. Listen how that sounds. It almost sounds like a scissor, so actually these parts are quite close to each other. Tolerance is good. Just like everything else, even this cheapo that I bought for 25 bucks, this can pull hair out with the plier tips. So I haven't found any cheapo multi-tool yet that can't pull hair. So I would say the quality is good. There's no issues with it. So obviously the needle, then there's a bit of a gap, and then you have the more for bigger items you want to grip. Then these are more for the nails, something a bit stronger, and they are removable. But it's a bit weird because if you buy a Leatherman, you can buy the replacements for these, but I don't see them selling this replacement part, so I don't know why it's removable. I mean, even this one has also a removable one. Why? I don't know, because it's not sold as of now. Okay, so let's see. This makes it so much harder to get rid of the pliers. So yeah, definitely it's a emergency tool first. So the blade is 1550 CR 1015 MOV. Oh my God, I have to write this down. So hard to memorize. Body's 20 CR 30 13/30 CR 13. Should be 268 grams. Let's keep them real. Let's see if it actually really is that weight. 272. It weighs more than 268. Okay, it should be 100 by 39 by 28 in closed dimension. That's in millimeters. Okay, so we'll just go over, we did the overview. Actually, it's funny because it smells sort of weird. Like, I would say it smells like, you know, like when you work on electronics, you're burning electricity or something, it has that kind of electricity smell. I wonder if that's what the cancer thing is. Because they go, oh, it causes cancer in the state of California. And luckily, I'm not in California. But it has a smell to it. I wonder if that smell wears out eventually. Because it gets on my hand. I can smell that smell on my hand. Okay, anyway, stop digressing. NextTorch MT20 pros and cons. We'll start with the cons. So obviously no one hand. Even with this, when you break it in, you can grab the end and flick it open. So if you're on like a ladder and you just need to one-hand it, some multi-tools allow you to one-hand it, kind of like a butterfly knife, and that's quite nice to have. An emergency to one-hand everything, but you can one-hand certain things, but you actually can't one-hand that scissor or anything of it, and it's super hard to get that pliers out. So no one-handers, pliers hard access. Missing tools, it's missing Phillips and some whatever other stuff. It has majority of stuff. I think it's okay. I think you still can use this outdoors because it's not like you're doing Phillips screwdrivers outdoors. You just can't be like a tradesman, like a repairman, I think, with this. It's more for emergency. Hotspots, I guess. Every multi-tool is a hotspot problem, so I can't fault it on that. It's just you have to know that when you're squeezing these for, I guess, if you had a long time. If you had a dedicated tool, it's just going to be more ergonomic. That's what it comes to. No glass breaker for another con. So let's go into the pros. Heavy duty shears is the best. Let's just cut some stuff so I can prove that it's at least good. All right, this is more of an overview than a hard use test. Here's some twine or whatever kind of rope. Nothing special. Can you even see that? Here is a bamboo, like a skewer. Let's see if we can just cut that. Super easy, right? So if you had to cut that with a knife, it actually wouldn't cut very well. It would be super harsh, but this cuts cleanly and without any damage. Obviously not, because it's wood. More stuff. How about some popsicle sticks? So, you know, if you have like a kid around and they're doing arts and crafts, having like a robust scissor is so much better. So much better than... Can you even do that with this? You can't. It doesn't even go further than that. Right? So having a robust scissor is awesome. How about just a piece of wire, electronic wire? Oh my god, so easy. This is just a USB. How about, let's see, nails. Here's a thin wire. This is copper. Can you see this? Easy to cut. Right, these are the type of materials you will cut with this kind of tactical EMT trauma shears. I wouldn't, let's try out the zip tie, because that thing is made as a zip tie cutter for zip tie handcuffs. So that's why law enforcement might want this, just like emergency. So you can cut it this way with a scissor, but let's try out their feature. Pop this open, put it in here, and yep, it actually does work. So this is so much more narrower that you can just slide in and just, wow, so easy. So if you really had to cut a already closed zip tie and it's hard to get into there, you can cut it, and with this, works super well. That's quite unique, so that's nice. Pro, let's see, what else do we have? What did I do with my, yeah, my nail. Okay, so if you had a nail like this, I wouldn't use the shears. You're just asking to damage it unnecessarily. This is where you should open up the pliers. You have options. I feel like I should be making transformer noises when I'm doing this. And so nail doesn't cut it. Oh my god. That just popped. I actually don't even know where the nail is. Here's the front. But yeah, no problem cutting the nail with this. Obviously I can feel when I'm squeezing it. I can feel the hot spot here. But yeah, very good. Right. Everything functioned. Let me go for this one. This is an awesome. People always have to go through blister packs, right? They're so annoying. If you run of course you could do, let's see, you can do a utility knife into a blister packs. There it goes. Then it's a little bit, you see, it's a little bit resistance. So if a person's not good with a knife, they might be scared or may injure themselves. And then so if you have something like this, you can just eat through everything. See how fast and easy it is? Can just pop through everything. So easy, right? So you can try this one. So you can imagine that when you're opening packages like this, oopsies, it's my studio light, which is just a flashlight. This is the state of my studio. It's a poor man's setup. Okay, so yeah, these kind of robust shears are so much better. I just wish that, you know, Leatherman offers me an option, and I don't think they have an option like this. Does anyone know if there's any other multi-tool out there? It would be nice that I can get the shears and maybe have all the tools of everything. Do you think this is compromised too much? What do you think? You can comment below. But let's just, in conclusion, this, after I made a huge mess, I like it's kind of an expansion of the Leatherman Raptor, and that you can have this power and the use of this powerful shears, but then have more, because this alone is just pretty much a scissor unless you're an EMT person. It's pretty much just a scissor. It doesn't have any of those other functions. I think people who do crafts and art kind of work, you can have use for the heavy duty shears, and you can have use for the pliers and everything you have to work with, the knife, you have a saw. So I think actually a art student or person working on crafts can benefit from this. So students, EMT, emergency, firefighters, law enforcement, all good. And it's even a more addition to this. So what it offers is, I think, just consolidate, combine these two, and just carry this. It's more simpler. Yep. And I wouldn't say this has no less compromise in strength from this. So do I recommend this? Yeah, I mean, so far from how I used it, I think as a casual person, I'm not a tradesman or contractor, so I can't comment on from that angle. So what do you think? For $100, I think it's worth it. And okay, that's it. Now, one more thing. I'm not going to do affiliate link for this, so people don't think that I'm promoting an item just for the affiliation, but I'll post some links inside the description where you can buy this, like for example on AliExpress if you wanted to. Usually that's the easiest way, and AliExpress is a good platform that's reliable and has good customer service. So I can post a link for where you can find this, and maybe I'll put this as well if you're looking for a Leatherman Raptor clone, and they function really well. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, share. This kind of stuff is free stuff you can do, and it supports the channel. Okay, see you next time.
Yeah.